What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Figured I'd just give you guys a little bit of a rundown on a few things through the first week of the 2017-2018 National Hockey League season. So just kind of I'm incoherent rambling. No, just a few things I picked up on, early that I like, and I'll start with the Boston Bruins. I know they got their balls kicked today, and by the Colorado Avalanche, who don't suck as much dick as they did last season. Apologize to whoever I offended on that joke. And you look at it, the Bruins got some really good young talent, and whether it's Charlie McAvoy or Anders Bjork or DeBrusque, you're looking at these young kids, and you're like, all right, they can play. They deserve to be getting the looks they're getting, and that's not even mentioning David Pastrnak at this point is an established National Hockey League. I like to think after flirting with 40 goals last year, you're an established NHLer. And going back to Colorado, I thought they did not look as bad today. Again, playing the Bruins matinee game on a holiday, but I will be the first to admit I didn't watch a whole lot of Colorado Avalanche hockey last season. Don't think I missed out on a whole lot, but I watched enough of it to know they were one of the one of the worst teams historically speaking in a long time. And they played really good up-tempo hockey today, and we'll see what happens with that. New Jersey 2-0. Jesper Bratt, first NHL player in history to have 5 points through his first 2 games in the show. 6th-round pick last year, 19 years old. I like the kid. I'm sure, I know I don't talk about New Jersey enough for some reason, or I'm accused of that. But, he's the best rookie on the New Jersey Devils right now. Nico himself he's got the 1 assist through 2 games. New Jersey's kind of like Boston, where they're infusing some really good young kids in the lineup, and some of the guys have been up last year. Obviously, Pavel Zacha, Santini, the kid from Nobles, Miles Wood, and obviously Bratt, and we talked about Nico ad nauseum. So getting these young kids in there, seeing what Will Butcher can do, letting guys play their games and kind of develop, at the NHL level, I think is really cool. I like the way that Mirko Mueller's looked early. I liked him in that 2013 draft. Didn't really work out for him in San Jose. But again, this New Jersey Devils team is going to be they'll be competitive. I don't think they're a playoff team, obviously, but I don't think they're as bad as some of the prognosticators painted them out to be. And Jimmy Hayes, right now on pace for 41 goals, so we'll see what happens on that front. Nathan Walker, it's the Caps year, and it's the Caps year down under, too. Nathan Walker not only became the first Australian-born player to play in the National Hockey League, but also scored a goal in his NHL debut and got shout-outs from all sorts of Aussies, from Andrew Bogut to the Prime Minister of Australia, so that's pretty cool. By the way, since we're talking about Australia, just going to pour a little off to Steve Irwin. Just a little bit. R.I.P. Peace to the crocodile hunter. But he was a guy I've been following for a long time. That he was actually born in Wales, and he was playing in the Czech Republic for a while. He was in the USHL, worked for the USHL. He was in Hershey for a while with the AHL, the Capitals affiliate, the Hershey Bears. So, again, really happy to see what he's doing. It's really cool. I love watching the game grow. I'm a sucker for shit like that, as I think most of y'all know. So that's pretty cool. Segueing over to another talented team that didn't win the Stanley Cup last year in Nashville. 0-2 in the season. Not exactly looking too hot. Losing to the Boston Bruins and then getting shut out in the Stanley Cup final rematch Saturday night in Pittsburgh. Again, they're ironing out some kinks. Not exactly an ideal situation when you're, the reigning Cup runner-up and you're off to a slow, sluggish start, but they'll be fine. They got the talent, they got the coaching. They'll figure it out. I'm not worried about them. Likewise, Dallas 0-2 in the season. They were the trendy pick to kind of be that sleeper team to go to the Western Conference Finals, and obviously again 0-2. I mean, your season's not over at 0-2. I think you guys should know that, but it's one of those. It's better to get off on the right foot than the wrong foot, and seeing that even teams like Buffalo being they're winless. I would have liked to have seen them eke out a win early. Actually, speaking of New Jersey, they kicked their asses in tonight. I think Phil Housley, his system, I think they take time to really implement that. He doesn't have the defenseman in Buffalo that he did in Nashville as an assistant coach, but he also didn't have Jack Eichel in Nashville, so he'll figure it out. He's a hell of a coach, good hockey mind. It's something I'm really I like watching his teams or his defense play, and it was like that in Nashville. And again, they had the talent, but I think he's going to bring up the best in some of those young defensemen in Buffalo. It's going to take a matter of time. So, all in all, some really good hockey being played. Edmonton, I mean, obviously, we've talked about Edmonton a lot the last few years. The tough one in Vancouver the other night, but we'll see what happens. I really like the Toronto-Chicago game tonight. Austin Matthews having the winner on the wrist shot. Those are two really good teams. Would it shock me if that was a Stanley Cup final? If it was Toronto, Chicago, original six, two really great hockey markets. Wouldn't hate it, I'll tell you that much. Do I think the Leafs are a year away? Maybe, but when you got talent like the Toronto Maple Leafs do, the timeline can go right out the fucking window. We'll see what happens with a lot of these guys in here too. How do they handle? And I said this in a couple of the preview pieces of them. So much went right for them last season, and obviously they had the talent. They're coached well. Freddie Anderson played very well in net, but if Nylander has 1 point in a 7-game stretch, the media starts leaning on him because Toronto they can do that from time to time. How do they respond? Because now they're not sneaking up on anyone. Not that they snuck up on anyone last year, but I think they're painted as a contender, rightfully so. They still have some things to work out on defense, but they're good. Last year they were that young upstart team, and it's one thing to be that; it's another thing to be the team that everyone's gunning for every night. So we'll see what happens. But again, I really like what I'm seeing from Toronto early on, and likewise Chicago. How about Brandon Saad just sliding right back in? Took a 2-year vacation in Columbus, and now he's back. For all intents and purposes, he belongs. He's came up with the Blackhawks, won 2 cups in Chicago, took the money, and he got traded and took the money in Columbus, ended up back in Chicago, and he's got 6 points through 3 games. The guy is on fire. Him, Tibbs, and Richard Pondak have been really doing some great things. And likewise, Patrick Kane. Oh, what's he going to do without Panarin? Like he wasn't already a 3-time Stanley Cup champion when Artemi Panarin landed on his line. Although, his 2 best offensive years were with Artemi Panarin on his line. So, just throwing that out there. Again, I think it's just a really great team. I think they've got some depth. They've got some interesting pieces. And they'll be a team to watch going forward. So, again, early returns on the 2017-2018 season is that hockey is really good. I really like hockey. I enjoy watching hockey. And I think if you guys, this is a year I'm not going to tell you. I'm not a salesman for the NHL, so don't get the NHL package if you don't want to. But there are enough good, talented young teams in the league that might be worth showing out the $25-$30 a month because there's always going to be some good games on. So anyway, that's all I got. Episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for more episodes for the season and beyond. Later, guys.